This is Money, Motivation, and Mike, and I am your host, Michael Wainwright. In charge of the show is Jason Wright, and hello to you, world. This is the show that can and will change your life. You can contact us at info@mx3.vip and find all of our new content at mx3.vip or on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@MX3 Podcast. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified of all of our new content, which Jason puts out every Monday morning. Jason, over the first quarter of 2025, our Boost Productivity, you've told me, is one of our most popular episodes.
That's correct.
So I know that the farewell tour of the Eagles was on there and the Michael Jordan stuff, but due to the fact that boosting productivity is real close to the top, if not the top, let's talk about some daily personal development skills today, and also why we struggle with disagreement, which gets us in. We spend a lot of time, a lot of energy as individuals worrying about disagreement instead of putting positive energy and focusing on the things that matter most, which is the stuff we can control and the things that are happening to us in a great daily fashion. But for some reason, we focus on the negativity that comes along with that, which in a lot of times is disagreements with others, family, friends, business colleagues, co-workers, etc. So this is some more information here from Kobe Kojan, who is a #1 performer once again on LinkedIn, and I think everybody knows how much I like LinkedIn. But with some of the daily personal development things that he talks about, and take this for interesting. Words are always interesting, and just when you think you've heard it all, another word will amaze you. You get 4,000 weeks if you're lucky. Stop waiting. So 4,000 weeks, Jason, is just a little bit short of 77 years old. You get 4,000 weeks if you're lucky. The most dangerous addiction is the approval of other people. You want approval, you're addicted to that, and maybe their approval is not even approving of something that's very positive in your life. But approval is an addictive, dangerous thing. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. That's exactly right. If you will tolerate to the end of the earth, that's how someone's going to treat you. If you're the punching bag, they're going to come to you when they need to do some bag punching. But if you don't tolerate that, then they're going to treat you in a better fashion. It's called respect, of respecting you, but it's also called human nature on the other side, that just like as we were when we were kids, when we were children, you get away with whatever it is you can get away with, and that is your boundary, and you know where you're going. Your worth isn't tied to your productivity. All right. Boosting productivity, as we talked about here a month ago, I think it was at the end of March. But your worth isn't tied to your productivity. Your worth is your worth, and your value that you bring as a mother, a father, a friend, a co-worker, a business owner, maybe even a politician, maybe on the school board. Your worth isn't tied to your productivity. This is one of my favorites. No is a complete sentence. You don't have to justify yourself. No means no. And usually when you say no, the next response is, why? I don't have to justify to you why I just said no. I'm at no, and that's it. And no is a complete sentence. No, period. The people who matter won't leave you for having boundaries. Okay? This is something you always struggle with. They have a boundary that they only do certain things at certain times. They won't go out to dinner with you because they have a boundary that they don't do that on Friday nights. Maybe their boundary is they don't have the money, but they don't want to talk about that. And sometimes, lots of times, we struggle with boundaries that people have to put up. That I need my space. One of my boundaries, I need to work out. Those are the kind of things that are boundaries, and you're looking for people who won't leave you when you have boundaries. And frankly, everybody needs to have boundaries. I believe that, because it's one of them things, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. And standing for something is having a boundary. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. I will not walk into a dark room, but maybe when I get in the dark room, it's the brightest I've ever seen, because that's where the treasure is. And you're scared to walk through that door. You're scared to walk through that cave to get to where the answers are. And in this particular case, referring to a treasure. Reach out to people just because they crossed your mind. Okay? They crossed your mind. They don't know that they've crossed your mind. They don't even know that you care. And you may think about them weekly. You may think about them daily. But if you don't reach out, if you don't make the phone call, the text message, the email, the visit, how about going to their door and visiting? That's something we don't do anymore. We can operate our world from the couch. Order groceries. Order everything. Said, I want to go shopping. You don't have to leave your couch to shop, Jason. It's incredible.
Don't I know it?
And that's also why the United States of America continues to be the leader in obesity. Can't get off the couch. They will literally bring the potato chips almost to your couch. If you unlock the door, they'd probably walk in. I don't know. Maybe the delivery guys and gals can't walk into that premises, but you get the point. They can deliver it within feet of where you are, and they can do it incredibly fast. It's really, really interesting. Reach out to people just because they crossed your mind. Quit reaching out to Walmart every day and ordering something. Walmart, Amazon, eBay. Okay. Vera Wang, professional designer. She designed her first dress at age 40. It's never too late to start. How about that?
I like it.
One of the most successful insurance agents I've ever known, he's no longer with us, did not go into the insurance business till he was 37. It's never too late. You don't have to start at 18. You don't have to start at 22. If it costs you peace, it's too expensive. I think I've said that before on this show, but man, I love that. If it costs you peace, it's too expensive. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. We're all about instant gratification. And we're going to do it today, and we'll worry about tomorrow. That has been our motto as U.S. citizens, and there is no one less impatient than me. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. You think about that. When you get out and actually do something, that creates you to motivate you to do more and more and more. You can't motivate yourself and not go do something. You can't motivate yourself to do it. You can get started by doing it. You can make a decision to start, but you usually attack things less motivated. You become more motivated when you see the action and the result and how you win at whatever it is you're doing. Something as simple as mowing the yard, which I've said before, I look at as artwork. I love mowing and putting those streaks in the grass, etc. It is my art, and a whole lot of people don't like to mow. Once again, I don't know what's wrong with me. There's some daily personal development thoughts there for all of us to continue. The number one, there's several, but the number one to me is the one about peace. About peace. If it costs you peace, it's too expensive. And peace is a big word in my life. Big time. Now, you get 4,000 weeks if you're lucky. Stop wasting time. Great saying. Jason, do you know most people struggle with disagreement?
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
Most of them are your family and friends.
When they disagree with me, I have a problem with it. Because I know I'm right.
That's what's on your birth certificate.
Exactly.
Yeah, most people struggle with disagreement. Okay, think about this in your next conversation. Help me understand how you reached that conclusion. So now you got to explain why you disagree with me. Help me understand how you reached that conclusion. Interesting, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Before challenging the idea, before doing something unsafe for your well-being, just ask the person you're disagreeing with. Help me understand how you reached that conclusion. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Here's your next one. I see things differently, and here's why. Now I'm explaining to you why I think you're wrong. Now, from that, they're going to come back with you and explain to you why they think you're wrong. Kind of like the first one better, but I see things differently, and here's why. Part of that is sharing an alternative to what the disagreement is. Thoughtful perspective. I don't know. Number 3, I take a different approach. After hearing their perspective, now you give them your perspective. There's different ways to cut the grass. Here's my perspective on that. So you're not attacking them by, you blankety blank idiot, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, here's my perspective. Here's how I go about it. That's a good approach. I put that right underneath the help me understand how you reach that conclusion. Okay. Now, this one really gets them because I love facts.
Mm-hmm.
Factual. This is why I believe what I believe, based on facts. Let's explore the data together. Let's get the numbers out.
Let's go to the source.
Yeah, when your opinions are clashing, let's go to the numbers. Yeah. Let's get out the facts. Shift the focus from emotion to facts. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. How many times did your team go first place?
Yeah.
How many wins do y'all have? You say you play defense, y'all lead the league in errors. Yes. And unfortunately, in the coaching profession, that's how you explore and get the disagreement. Let's go explore the data. Here's your next one. I agree with, let's just call it X. And I'd like to add this comment. So they can be talking about 4 different things and you disagree with all of them, or maybe just one that you agree with. So find that one and agree with that point. But I'd also like to add this. You know, when you're building a car, you probably ought to start from the ground up. We probably shouldn't worry about painting the hood the first day that we're building a car. And that's what I agree to what you're saying. Let me add this to it. You know, if we go ahead and paint the hood today, it's got all this time to get scratched, dusted, dirty, blah, blah, blah. That's a small example of what that's all about. Here's your next one. Remember, most people struggle with disagreement. Let's pause. What's our shared goal here? What is the end result going to be with our disagreement? When tension starts to rise, that's when it's time to pause. Recreate the common conversation with common ground. Lots of times there is no common ground. That's why we're having the struggle with disagreement. Let's go back to help me understand how you reached your conclusion. And where'd you get that data? Now, you might want to stay out of, when you go to the data, you might want to stay out of politics. Because somehow the Democrats always have a set of data and the Republicans always have a set of data.
Yeah. And your favorite news organization is not necessarily.
And your favorite news organization always has their set of data.
Yeah.
Okay, here's your last one. You might be right about X, But here's my concern. So you could be right, but would you think about this? Maybe we ought to put the numbers on the side of the car instead of underneath the car. Just think about that. They're only going to be able to see the numbers if the car flips over. So maybe we ought to put the numbers on the side of the car. So you might be right, but my concern is this. So those are some other good tactics for when people struggle with disagreement. I think you ought to focus on those pretty well. And I put those right up there with if it costs me peace, it's too expensive. Taking a different approach, I see things differently. I really do like help me understand how you reached that conclusion. And I'm always about exploring the facts, which is the data, and goes back to one of the things we talk about on this show many times, which is information and gathering the information so that you can make a proper decision. Obviously, the more information you gather, the better decision you can make. And sometimes you go out and gather information that looks correct, but it may be incorrect. So you gather some more information that's totally different from the information you started with. Then you get more information, and then all of a sudden your sample size gets stronger, and then you can determine what actually is the correct information. And that's where the politics in the world come short. They find the numbers that work for them, and then they promote those numbers, when those numbers may not even be anywhere close to the real truth. You can always find us at mx3.vip, and you can contact us at info@mx3.vip. And of course, our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@MX3 Podcast. And I did not mention today, Jason, we're at 146,409 subscribers on YouTube. And we need to be at 150,000 by April 30th to be on our track to have 250,000 subscribers by December the 31st, 2025. So basically since January the 1st, Jason, 46,409 new subscribers. And it took us 2.5 years to get to 100,000. Money, Motivation, and Mike is rocking and rolling. And we are very happy with what is going on with our show. When you're on the YouTube, always go down. Is it the chat part, Jason? Go down, make comments.
Yeah.
Go down, make comments. And of course, when you do subscribe, hit the, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that you get notified of all of our new content, which comes out every Monday morning around 9 o'clock. And we have been having serious discussions, and we'll continue to have discussions about bringing more content to you than just our once a week, weekly basis show. We'll continue to keep you updated with that. So for everyone who's been a part of this show and this episode of Money, Motivation, and Mike, continue to live your life the right way.